Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your brother Al.
And Roz, and welcome to another episode of Together We're One Talk Show, where we talk everything marriage
and relationships.
Yeah, and so today it is going to be an awesome show because we're going to be talking.
Kind of hot and steamy.
It's going to be hot and steamy. Because we're going to be talking about being Valentine ready.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we have everything we need to make sure that our spouses are well taken care of on this day.
Right.
So listen, go and grab a pen, some paper, because we're going to give y'all some ideas, and you might want to take some notes. Get your spouse even, and y'all come on and join us as we get into this topic of Valentine Ready.
Let's have fun, y'all.
So we're talking about Valentine's Day. And for us, I think when we first started dating, we would celebrate Valentine's Day. I remember the very first Valentine's Day gift you got me.
What was that?
It was a little bear, and back in the day, they would have these balloons, and inside the balloon they had confetti, and they put a bear in it.
Okay.
And I always thought the little bear looked like you. So when I took the bear out, it was like I held on. I slept with him. I held on to him for years. I don't know what happened to him, but somewhere in a move, I lost him. But that was the very first Valentine's Day gift that you ever got me, and I still remember him. I still remember exactly what he looks like.
So I mean, okay. So now, 26 years later, is Valentine's Day still that? What's our approach now? How have we evolved?
Well, I don't really think for us that Valentine's Day is a big deal, and we're going to tell you guys why here in a little bit, but for us, it's not really a big deal. I think initially, just, when we were first dating, it was just that thing of, wow, he bought me something, So, I think that's what it was initially. But as the years have passed and as we've evolved and as we've grown, we really don't take as much of an interest in doing the whole Valentine thing now, 26 years later.
Right.
But here's my question, though. Is Valentine's Day a woman's holiday or a man's holiday? Because it's almost like the woman always expects the man to get her something, but rarely do we women get the men something for Valentine's Day.
That's interesting.
So I wonder what other people think about that, or who.
I think we're gonna have to ask that on our Together With One Facebook page.
Yeah.
Kind of take a poll.
Yeah.
We'll see how who counts. What is it? A woman's holiday?
Yeah.
Is it a man's holiday?
Yeah.
But here's the truth of the matter is men may not get the gifts, or we may be the gift giver on that day. Yeah. But I think we get some kickbacks. I think
you definitely get cool points.
We definitely get
depending on what the gift is.
Yeah, we get cool points, but I think the night can end in our favor as well.
Well, I absolutely think so.
Exactly.
So maybe that's what y'all doing. Y'all trying to give some gifts so y'all can give.
We're setting it up.
Y'all setting it up. Y'all slick with it, huh?
So here we have. We're going to talk about being Valentine's Day ready. So with that being said, number one, we have one day is never enough.
Right, and I really want to stress this, and I think that's what I wanted to really hit on with us being 26 years in. Valentine's Day should be every day. Yeah. And so I think the things that we're going to talk about today are things that we should be doing on a daily basis and not just on February the 14th. Right. But our marriage should be a Valentine's Day every day. We should be willing to do things for our spouses to make our spouses fall in love with us all over again. We should be willing to do things that are going to make our spouse want to end the night with a really good night, in the bedroom. Exactly. You know what I mean? So there are things that we should be doing on a regular day-to-day basis, not just February 14th, but that February the 14th should carry over into that forever in our marriage.
It can be a catalyst.
Yeah.
February can be a catalyst into the rest of the year, and you're doing things. But again, one day is never enough. So don't wait wait to Valentine's Day to do it. Yeah. Do it all.
Listen, so let me tell them this right here. Because see, right here, you can get off of this tonight. You can turn this TV off tonight, and you can start Valentine's Day tonight. Yes. Whatever the date is where you are.
You can start setting it up.
You can start setting it up right now. We don't have to wait for February to roll around to actually get into the February, the Valentine's Day spirit.
Exactly. And so one day is never enough, but two, Valentine's Day and being Valentine's ready, because we're not just going to wait till one day to do it. It gives us an opportunity to revalue.
Right. We want to revalue our relationship, meaning we want to look at what matters most in our relationship, and we want to take those things and we want to bring them back to the forefronts of our minds.
Right.
Because I think we have Valentine's Day and we celebrate that day, but then, by March, April, May, we've forgotten because, it's just not on our minds. And so when we revalue, then we're bringing those things up that matter the most in our marriage. So what are some things that really matter in your marriage? You need to go back and look at those things.
And put in place value back on those things.
Yes.
Because again, life happens.
Yeah.
And so what we can do is we can start, because of life happening, we can start taking each other for granted.
Yeah.
We can lose value.
Yes.
In areas that we need to keep value.
Yes.
So that gives us, when we have that Valentine is more than just one day mentality, it gives us an opportunity throughout the year to place value on those things that really keeps the marriage and keeps the relationship going.
So can you think of anything that we really should be valuing in our relationships that we probably lose value?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We right
here.
We right here, baby. So you think about it. A lot of times, sex. Sex can become devalued. Yeah. And just saying, well, this is what it is. We've been together. Let's routine. Let's get it on. Let's get it over with. But no, sex. God gave us sex so that we can enjoy each other. Yeah. So that we could pleasure each other.
Exactly.
So then I believe that is something that we need to place value in.
Yes, that's good. And the Bible it's funny because we don't think that I don't know if we don't think it or if we just really haven't sat down and read it before, but we don't really realize how much sex is throughout the Bible and how God talks about it and how people have written about it. So I would even say to you guys, if you're trying to get back into that Valentine's Day spirit, that you sit down with your spouse and read the book of the Songs of Solomon.
Yes.
Because it is full of stuff that will help you to revalue
it will encourage you. It will encourage you to enjoy your spouse, in which that's what it's all about. And so because we lose value in that, a lot of times we'll look outside of the marriage and place value where it doesn't belong.
That's good. We start valuing somebody else.
Exactly. And we know where that leads. So we want to make sure that we're placing value on sex. We want to make sure that we're placing value on communication. We want to make sure that we're placing value on touch. So that gives us an opportunity to go and revalue the relationship.
That's good. Okay, so that's number one is revalue. What else do we have?
Also, it gives us an opportunity to reconnect.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's something that a lot of times marriages go through things because we lose connection.
Yeah, we do.
Life happens, kids happen, jobs happen, and we just lose connection. But what happens when we keep this year-round Valentine mentality, then that keeps us connected.
Yeah, because what do we do on Valentine's Day? A lot of times on Valentine's Day, we get dressed up and we go out, we go to dinner, we go to a movie, we go dancing, whatever it is, it gives us that opportunity to reconnect. And dating is a great way to reconnect with your spouse. If you have not been doing that, that's a great way for us to get together and reconnect in a way that maybe we've lost over some time. So what do you think the best way to be a supportive spouse is?
The best way to be a supportive spouse is to be present and in the now. That's the best way, because a lot of times your spouse just needs you. It may not always need advice, may not always need you to say something, but just being there makes a difference.
Yeah, being their biggest fan, being their biggest cheerleader. I always like to say that I don't want anybody to beat me cheering for my spouse. So I always want to be that person that's there cheering my spouse on. Okay. So when do you feel the most loved?
I feel the most loved when, I don't want to sound redundant, but I really feel.
So we've talked about how one day is not enough. Mm-hmm. We've talked about how we need to reconnect and revalue. Right. Now this next one is recommit.
Yes, recommit. So we're talking about having a year-round Valentine mentality.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that in this, what is on Valentine's Day, you usually have an opportunity to recommit, mm-hmm. to just say, hey, I'm committed to this.
Yes.
I know we've gone through some things throughout the year,
but
that is something that needs to happen year around.
Yes.
But you spurred the thought, babe.
Okay.
And a lot of times what happens is we don't do these things year round, mm-hmm. because we lose the motivation.
Right.
To do it.
Right.
And it's like something happens during Valentine.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's the physical motivation.
Yeah.
Or it's the, you said, we trying to set something up and get something happening.
Yeah.
But what happens is we lose that motivation.
Yeah.
So we end up, again, losing that commitment.
Yeah.
But what does it do? It gives you an opportunity to reestablish that commitment.
Right. And then I think too, when we're talking about recommitting, we also need to even go back as far as our marriage vows and recommit ourselves even to those vows, to those things that we promised that we would be and do for our spouses. Mm-hmm. We need to make sure that we are doing those things. And that's part of being or having that Valentine's Day mentality, because everybody wants to be committed, mm-hmm. during the Valentine. We all want to be committed then. And then once April rolls around, we like,
it wasn't happening.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we are going back and really looking at what we promised, what mm-hmm. we vowed to do mm-hmm. on that wedding day, and making sure that we are being all of that for our spouse.
And this is what committing does. Mm-hmm. I've learned this throughout our marriage, our years of marriage. Mm-hmm. What commitment does, commitment creates security.
Oh, that's good.
You see, commitment creates security.
Yeah.
And then security, along with that, because that's trust. Mm-hmm. Security, you have commitment, then you have security. Mm-hmm. But then once that is established, then a wife doesn't mind giving herself.
That's right.
Because she feels secure.
Yeah, and security for a woman is so very important.
There we go.
I think probably not I think a lot of times men view us when we as women find ourselves in that place of feeling insecure. I think it kind of can be a little frustrating for mm-hmm, men. Mm-hmm. But here's a little nugget for all of the men that might be listening. Listen, if your wife is secure, she will follow you anywhere.
Come on.
If your wife is secure,
she'll give herself completely.
Absolutely. So you want to make sure that you're doing things that's going to build her up, that's going to make her feel secure, that's going to make her feel safe, that's going to let her know that I can trust you to lead me somewhere.
Yes.
So make sure that you're not just getting frustrated mm-hmm. when your wife, starts to have those insecurities, but really sit down and ask yourself, babe, how can I recommit myself in a way to you that's going to allow you to be secure with the man that I am and where I'm trying to lead you and our family.
That's good. And so we have recommitment, but then next we have Valentine's Day gives us, to be Valentines Ready.
Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to repair.
Oh, I love this one, because we talk about all the time how we say that mm-hmm. it is easier to maintain than it is to repair.
Yeah.
But what I do want to stress here is this: if you are in a season of where you need to be repaired, understand that it's okay. It's okay, and nothing is too hard for God.
There you go. And all things are possible to them. So you can have something in your hand that's broken.
Yes.
But with God, it can be mended.
Exactly.
It can be made whole.
It can be repaired.
It can be repaired.
Yeah.
And now, so and a lot of people come to Valentine's Day, and it's so funny, but it's like something, the spirit of Valentine's just invokes that thing of wanting to repair.
Yeah.
People are excited about repairing, mm-hmm. in which we ought to be year round.
Uh-huh.
So when things happen in our marriage that seems like, okay, we're in a broken place right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. It doesn't have to just be February 14th, mm-hmm. but we can be, okay, let's repair this thing.
Exactly.
Because what's happening is we're going to take something that's broken, and when we repair it, it's going to be better than it was.
Absolutely. And that is the awesome part about the God that we serve, is that he specializes in and taking broken things and making them beautiful and making them whole again.
Yeah.
And so when we trust him with our brokenness, he can take those things and he can make them to be something usable.
Right.
And a lot of times we think that if it's broken, we got to throw it away because it's no longer any good. But God says, bring me your brokenness.
Yes.
And if you bring me your brokenness, I can turn that thing around for you if you trust me. And so we want to make sure that in this stage of repairing, that we are giving it over completely to God. And this is something that we need to do year round.
Yes.
You know, every marriage needs to have checkups.
Come on.
And just like we as, humans, our bodies, every year we go get physicals, right, to make sure everything is good, make sure everything is intact. Well, marriages need the same thing.
Yes.
We need to make sure that not just on Valentine's Day that we're getting checkups and that we're going in for repairs, but that we are every single day, every month, every year, that we are continuing to do these repairs on our marriages so that we can continue to grow and be happy, healthy, and thriving.
And so a lot of times, if you understand this, that when we are broken and we have broken pieces, and what happens when two broken pieces come together, and then they don't, and especially if they don't fit together, they'll cut each other, they'll hurt each other, they'll bruise each other.
Right, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Exactly. So what happens a lot of times, a lot of us can't function or can't hit that flow physically because we're emotionally broken.
Oh, that's good.
So when we get that repair mentality, let's repair those broken places emotionally, spiritually, mentally. So then when those are intact physically, we flow.
Right. And then not just with our spouses should we be looking at, to repair our spouse, but that is to repair myself.
Yes.
Again, and when a couple of things that we're going to always talk about are communication, and then this other thing called self-evaluation, where we have to always make sure that we are in line with whatever God's will and plan is for our lives as well, and not just looking to always fix our spouse or repair our spouse, but we want to make sure that we are in position to be that person that God, or that spouse that God has created us to be.
Exactly. And so the last one we have is this gives us an opportunity to refocus. Yeah. And I like this because when we refocus, we're focusing now on things that are strengths and not weaknesses. Yeah. We're looking at assets and not liabilities.
That's good.
So we want to make sure that we focus and we focus on the positive.
Yes.
Not on the negative.
Yes.
And Valentine's has that opportunity. It's like an opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we get to refocus. Now, yes, we've gone through some things, but now let's focus in on my wife's or my husband's strengths.
Yes.
Let's focus in on the positives about it, because here's what happens. Your perspective directs your actions.
Oh, that's good.
So wherever you are looking to or whatever you're focused in on, that's what's going to guide you.
Right. So that this is an opportunity now for us to refocus on what really matters.
There you go.
What is the best advice for singles to meet someone?
This is going to be the best advice for singles to meet someone is to meet them in the place where you are spiritually.
Oh, that's good.
Don't meet if you're in the light spiritually.
Yeah.
Don't go outside the light and try to meet them in the darkness.
Right.
Have them meet you in the light as well.
Yes, and I would agree with that. Okay, so what kind of...
Okay, guys, on this segment, we're going to give you some suggestions on what to do during Valentine that can, liven things up.
Give you a few ideas for those people that may be a little challenged in that area of trying to figure out what we can do to, rekindle our relationship or the sparks in our marriage.
Yeah, so here we go. Number one. Try something new.
Yeah.
Get out the rut. Get out of the routine. You don't have to do the same thing year after year. You can try something new. You can do something different. You can, create some excitement.
Right, because most times what we do is we would go to dinner or go to a movie or something along those lines.
Right.
Well, try something, like you said, try something that's a little bit outside of the box, outside of the norm, something that you guys wouldn't normally do. Do something that's going to create that adventure and excitement in your relationship that maybe you've lost along the way.
Exactly. And then number two, we have play hooky.
Oh, I like that.
Take a skip day.
Yeah. Take one of those personal days.
Call in.
Yeah, call in.
Call in. Take a day and just skip day and just tell them hey, I'm not coming in today. And just
we ain't gotta lie.
We're not encouraging you to lie, speak lie, or speak sickness over your life, anything like that. But just play hooky with your spouse. Go out and instead of doing a nighttime date, do a day date.
Right, because a lot of couples, what we found is a lot of couples have small children, and so one of the issues that they run into with dating each other is having a babysitter at night.
Yes.
But oftentimes, what we found is that working spouses' children are usually in daycare during the day.
Come on.
So if you put in your time to be off, then you and your spouse can go hang out and have a day date while the children are at daycare.
There you go. And so then we have number 3, dress for success. See, come on, you got to come with it now. You got to come with it. You want to have a successful night.
Yeah.
You want to keep their eye on you. You want to turn their head.
Yeah.
And, so you got to dress the part. You got to get yourself prepared, clean your nails.
Yeah.
Clean yourself up real good. Get your hair cut. Get your hair done. Clean yourself up real good so that you can again dress for success.
But this is something that I want really for us to understand, that this again transcends past Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Because a lot of times I think what happens is we fall into this rut of everyday life, and so we start as moms, we start wearing the mommy clothes. It's got that stain of throw up and applesauce that just won't even come off, and so we're wearing it every night to bed.
And along with your stocking cap and
the satin cap and
all that stuff. Hey, come on. This is an opportunity for you to fix yourself up. But I like what you said, baby. This is something that should be going on all year round.
I remember one of the revelations that God gave me back when our boys were young. I was a stay-home mom, and you worked outside of the home. And I remember being at home, and you would leave in the mornings, and I would have my satin cap on, my nightgown on. And when you would get home in the afternoon, I would still have that satin cap on and that nightgown on. And
Lord,
but the Lord really gave me a revelation and said, listen, this man is out here seeing beautiful women all day long, and then he got to come home and see this. So I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you. And so I started dressing up. Even though I wasn't going there, I remember the first time I did, you walked in, you was like, where are you going? I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Just wanted to put on some clothes for you. So let's make sure as women that we don't fall into this rut of wearing our mommy clothes and wearing our satin caps.
Right.
And
but that goes for men too, baby. That goes for men too, because you come home from work or you come home from the gym or whatever, you want to clean yourself up. You want to present yourself.
Take a shower.
Take a shower. You want to present yourself up to your wife.
Yeah.
You want to put your best foot forward as well.
Right.
Because again, what did we do in our dating? That's what we used to do. That's what we did to get them.
We didn't let our boyfriends or girlfriends really see us at our worst. We always dressed up because it's like, I don't want him seeing me like this. I got to be cute.
Right. Exactly.
And we need to carry that over into our marriage. So if we've lost that, we don't have to wait for Valentine's Day to dress up.
Let's do it now. And so number 4, we have eat in.
Yeah. So I like this one too because, again, this goes back to you have to do what you can do in the season that you're in.
Right.
And so, if money is a factor.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. If money is a factor, if a babysitter is a factor, you really can't get out to do the thing that you really want to do. Hey, you can make your dining room a 5-star restaurant and cook dinner, or either order dinner and bring it to the house, put the kids to bed early, turn on some nice music, turn off the lights, light some candles. Now you dressed up, and you guys sit at the table and have a nice dinner together.
And then too, you can add on to that is maybe y'all can cook together.
Oh, that's good.
See, now you having fun together, you're cooking together, you're laughing together, you're preparing the food, and then you can sit down and have fun. But even so, you may not want to go, you may have the opportunity to go outside.
Right.
You may want to just go to the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And get if it's cold in your area, whatever, they have those outdoor heaters.
Yep, those fireplaces.
Fire pits.
Yeah.
You can go outside, you can heat it up and
heat it up.
Really, you know what I'm saying? Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun with this, but you can eat in. That's another great idea. Another one we have is be creative with your gifts.
Right. So with this one, we oftentimes we just say, okay, well, for you, maybe you would get me flowers or a bear or some balloons or something like that. Well, be a little bit more creative.
Be a little bit more thoughtful.
Yes, put a little bit more thought into it. And I think a creative gift, a thoughtful gift, even something if it's made, goes a long way, probably even further than we realize.
Because it shows that you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of love songs that talks about you're on my mind.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that is the turn on to be on somebody's mind.
Yes.
So if you're giving a thoughtful gift that shows that you are really considering the person you're giving the gift to. All right. And so also this one was interesting.
Okay.
This one number 6 here is interesting. And I never thought about this, but go to an escape room. But you don't have to go just as a couple.
Right.
You can go with some friends.
Right, because I've heard that going with a group of people is more fun than just, and I guess that's kind of what you have to do. I've never gone to an escape room before. Yeah, I've heard that it's really fun.
We've heard that it was, good fun. But I started to think about that because what it does is it gets your adrenaline flowing.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like a little bit of adrenaline flowing when it comes to later that night?
Yeah, but here's the other awesome part about the escape room. From what I know of an escape room, it's you have to use strategies and you have to try to figure out how to get through this place together. And so everything that we've just talked about, reconnecting, and
recommitting.
Then now you're having to do those things in this activity that you've planned. You got to do this together.
Yes.
You got to do it as a team because that's what it's all about. It's doing it as a team. And so I think that is a really good, really good thing to do so that it helps you guys to continue that togetherness. I would agree with that. Okay, so what kind of physical touch best says I love you?
The kiss on the forehead.
Oh, that's it right there. The kiss on the forehead does it every single time.
The kiss on the forehead. That's ours. That's ours. But I'm sure everybody has something different.
So Valentine's Day in a married couple's life should actually turn into Valentine's forever.
Right.
Which means that every single day we should be ready to do the things that we need to do to keep our spouse's eye and to make sure that they're keeping our eye.
Exactly. So we don't have to wait on just February, one day, February 14th.
Yeah.
This can be a continual thing, and hopefully this encouraged you to do so.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't get an opportunity to give you all of the suggestions for that day, but if you would, you can go on our Facebook page. You can go on the Together With One Facebook page and check it out. We'll have it listed there. You can also go on our YouTube page, our Twitter page, our Instagram page. But then you can also join us here another Monday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time here on the Now Network. So we're going to give more tips and we're going to have fun. Listen, y'all, enjoy your spouse. Valentine's Day is about enjoying your spouse and enjoying each other, giving each other that pleasure and being a catalyst for the rest of the year.
Right.
All right. So you ready to pray out?
Let's pray out.
Lord, bless these couples to have fun. In Jesus' name.